I'm nervous. It's apart a lot. It's really a lot apart. You're right. It's just like, damn, I really tore into it. And now, now it needs a lot of work. Well, here we are. So after taking the motor out of the 66 Dodge Start, you can't put the motor in on top of a manual transmission because the shafts won't line up easily. You really need to put the motor in place and then slide the transmission in, right?
I don't know. I've done it, but yeah, you'd probably easier.
I didn't think I could do it. So once we were that far down in it, I already knew that there was some cancer. Oh yeah, that's not good.
Oh yeah, look at that. Look at what she's pulling out of that frame rail.
Oh man, there's the mouse nest.
But only one side has that. The other side's
The other side's okay.
Just looks perfect.
It's common.
So,
and it's salvageable. It's a very isolated spot. Like over here, it's perfect. Over here, it's perfect. It's just like this spot here. So with the plate, we'll plate well past where the damaged area, and then we'll plate the bottom so there's no flex, and it'll be good. I guess it's time for the death wheel. That's factory mouse nest coming out of there. Check the VIN tag, it'll confirm. So there's the pile that's come out of the... Can you guys see the pile?
Oh yeah, we're watching everything on the pile. I have Warren has a 1960 Cadillac Pink.
Can you see this?
Okay. Yeah, I see. Oh, look at that, Kim. Oh, yeah, that's bad.
It's very isolated, though.
Make sure Kim has.
Hey, a little more noise and then I'll
Kim,
be...
what do you have on your eyes?
Glasses.
That Welding, it changes the. It's a variable resistor. So it changes the voltage.
And this is
Some of it.
this is the worst. This is the very worst part of the driver's side frame rail. Now the passenger side, it looks great. I mean, I could scope up inside. It's not rusty like this, but this is, you know, got holes pitted in it.
Had his face about torn off because of one of those things.
So that's what I'm recording with my phone. So this is what it looks like. I bent it down. We're going to cut that section out, maybe a little further up, but see up here it's not bad. The problem was not here. The issue is isolated to like right here and a little bit more up on the side. I'm going to clean it out real good and see what we can do. You can't weld to that. You don't want to encapsulate that because that just catalyzes more rust. I've made using, what'd you say the thickness of this was?
1/8 inch.
1/8 inch?
It's 1/8 inch mild steel.
Okay, so, you know, I've got a little thing here because of the bend. This is a continuous piece. I've made some, like, divots so that water will try and run out of these, and we can scope up in here and look around for inspection or whatever like that. Dressed the frame, taken all the paint and corrosion off. Okay, I gotta crawl underneath this thing and put some welds on it. So I am gonna go down there. I gotta get this going down to the hole in the bottom of it. Okay, here we go. There's a hole in the bottom of the dart.
Okay, now
There's a hole in the bottom of the dart. There's a hole, there's a hole, there's a hole in the bottom of the dart. Can you guys see the hole in the bottom of the dart?
Oh, look at that. Oh yeah, you just gotta get those weeds out of there.
Yeah.
So what are you gonna do? Make a piece or several pieces to go there? Or?
Well, I think on this side, right? Right angle here. And then we need a plate that goes up here, and then we need to plate the inside. I haven't figured out the overlapping on those things yet. I want to see what it looks like up in this direction. I haven't been able to see it yet. Is there any dirt in there? What do you guys think? Looks like dirt. Something, huh? Yeah?
Oh yeah, that's in focus.
Okay, this is my frame rail repair. This is the first piece. So it's kind of unique. And why it is this shape? It goes up in there. It just barely fits. It tuck it up in there. Okay, and then it rolls back. It comes all the way back to here so that if this was ever open, I could weld in there. And then it lifts up there and we're going to clamp it. And I'll be able to weld through these holes. And I'll be able to weld this seam, and then I drilled holes on this side so that I can clamp it and do some plug welds there. And then I will make a piece that goes on the inside that wraps the whole bottom and then welds to this. And then I'll be done with my welding for the night. He's busy over there streaming. Say hello to the stream!
Kim's gonna weld. You're welding, which is really good because now I'll tell the story. Is you told me to go, you said, am I out of gas? And I went over there, I said, oh yeah, you're out of gas. And then you went over there to look at it and go, oh, the gas is off. Turned it on, we got plenty of gas.
Doesn't work nearly as much when the big valve's turned off.
Yeah, okay.
This is the inner, and then on the outer I have a piece that goes up in the thing, and I've already plug welded it into place. This will go in and this will tack together to that. This is going to be way stronger.
So that's actually the inner and outer part of the sandwich.
And this goes all the way back to the part of the frame that goes this way where the torsion bar.
Cross member.
So this goes all the way back to that and encapsulates the frame. I think that perfect is the enemy of good enough. This is going to be good and strong. The car is going to be very safe, and I mean, it's not going to be unsafe.
That's never going to move.
Well, never is a long time.
Okay, never as long as you and I are around.
But I don't think any time in the future. And if it is, we'll cut it off, and we'll build it again better. And now that it's ready to go on, you've seen it here, folks. You're not going to get to. Once I have it on there, you're not going to be able to see what it really looks like. So that's why I figured I'd stop, take a minute, and document, what we did here. He's the welder usually, but I'm going to have to do it because it requires, crawling up in a ball. And
okay, Kim's in there trying to get situated. Looks like there's a lot of room, but there isn't. So
there's not a lot of space. Confirming fitment.
Look at 100 spot welds. Well, I mean, you're like really in on it. Like they're seeing details nobody's ever going to see.
Yeah.
I see there's plug welds because there's a piece on the inside.
Right, and then some of the welds to the far right are actually burned through the rusty metal and into the plate. Okay, and then now this other part, can you see?
Oh, that's the shape of the piece you cut out.
It is. And then underneath, can you see a little bit? How I have the two plates?
Yeah, and we can see the holes that you dimpled so that if there's water in there, the water will run out.
The car was not broken in half. I mean, it had these holes and stuff in it, and the frame was not, there's no cracks. It's just rusted, perforated. So this is going to re-strengthen it, reinforce it, and then if we ever decide to tie the front and rear frame rails, we can tie all the way to this. So this is like future-proof. Yep, fully refurbished. Good as new. I'm re-arcing the shoes. The only place where this would be a problem was be us up in the rust belt, because once I weld this together, I'm not going to be able to.
You're not going to drive this around in the rust belt and salt.
Never.
Oh, never. That's right.
No, but but you know, once I get it in here, I can coat all this with paint, but I can't really coat in here with a weld behind the weld very good. So what we're going to do at that point, I'm going to fill it with the spray oil.
Well, you know, you can buy that paint that you spray on there, and it's meant to be welded.
What, weld through primer?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it still burns.
I guess. Or can you shoot paint up through these holes when you're done?
Yeah.
Oh, but it'll be a sandwich construction, so it really isn't going to get.
There's a little bit of sandwich construction going on here, and in this point, I believe this is phenomenally strong.
That's 1/8, and the piece you have on the inside is 1/8.
Yeah, and that.
This was maybe 16th, maybe.
I mean, it was heavy at one time, but
that side has that rust in it, so we're going to fix that. And the rest of the car looks really good. It's just that one spot. So maybe something got down in there and it rotted it.
that's a common place for Mopars to rust.
Kim, you got some line wrenches, or are you just going?
I do have some line wrenches.
Hey, hold that line wrench toward the camera, so everybody can. Okay, it's too close. It's not focused. You got to move it back. See, that's a line wrench. It's kind of like a box end, but it's got an opening in it.
So I can get it over the thing.
Put it over the line and then slide it on there. But it holds the nut on the line really well. Not like an open end. And then you see she uses her foot. And we did that without rounding off the nut. Hold that fitting with one wrench and turn the other fitting with the other wrench.
Yeah, you gotta back it up, it's called.
People would always...
They mess it up and then bring it.
And yeah, then they bring it to me and it's all twisted up and mess.
Ow, it's got it.
It come in on a tow truck because they ruined it.
WD-40,
I
anything.
forgot about the penetrant.
Oh, I got that back. Oh, that's really good.
Be careful with WD around brake fluid. You don't ever want to mix the two. Because you get WD in the brake line, you know what'll happen? It'll swell the cups up in the wheel cylinders and they'll freeze over.
That's not good.
You have some plaster? Yeah, she's got some WD. You know, the thing is with blasters, we have like different kind of stuff you can think of. This is what I grabbed. I'm sorting while I'm here. He speaks English and Spanish.
I think we're gonna have to remake this line.
I don't see you. Oh, that line.
Yeah,
you're kind of close. It doesn't focus well when you're close.
I'll wind it out.
Brawler Spanish speaker. Cool. Better at Spanish than many other things. And my Spanish is like, I know a few words, but I concentrated more on Russian just because.
That was
the wrenches in the toolbox there. Dented Dreams Garage, last plated in 1993. I got a whole thing here full of penetrants. What am I thinking? I forgot to put this in.
Nope. If your line is stuck and you can take the thing off without breaking it, you can turn it off of there, and then the line will free up tomorrow.
Oh, Brawler's taking off. Trying to work.
You don't put the heat on the thin part. You try to weld to this because then you'll burn.
And the reason I made this flange so high up is so I definitely hit the solid metal. Because about a ½ inch up from the bottom, it's still a little.
It's not all the way through, but it's a little like that.
Yeah, I mean, you could see there's still a lot of metal up a ½ inch. But you know, 1.5 inches up, it is unscathed. It's good metal. So I want to go into that. And yeah, that's my plan, and I think it's going to work, and I think we already talked way more. I'm going to have to cut half of this video out for it to be useful. But it's fun to talk about, fun to show you what we're doing on the Dart. We really, I'm afraid. We've got it so far apart. It's so blown apart, I don't know. Will we ever get it back together?
You started taking an engine out to fix the rear main seal, and now we've got the head off the engine. We got a second engine part. You got the whole suspension apart on one side. What else? I don't know. The frame's cut apart, but you know, it's just it just go back together the same. It won't. It'll take longer to go together because you're fixing stuff.
I know, and it took a solid week of working on it to get it apart this far.
But it'll go back together.
It's
an A body. It's simple. You were using flux core, which I'm not real good at. You had pretty good results. But then I watched you use the MIG with the gas, and you're making some blobs and some messy stuff, and you kept messing with it, and it's looking better and better. So your welds are, you can get on there and do that. Just make sure you got good shields on and good covered, so you're not having hot welding berries going in your shirt or something.
Oh, that's always nice. It's a good buried burn.
Yeah, let's put something over you so that doesn't happen.
Yeah, they aren't the most beautiful welds, but they're strong. I can tell when I'm getting fusion. There's good fusion.
That's good. It's not as pretty as it could be, but it's a MIG weld, and you had to grind because you can't have it sticking out. And then it's we used to call this in the airplane business, we call that a finger patch, but it's a gusset because there's a place here where there's a weld.
Yeah, you can see it on this side.
And that's really strengthened that up probably way more than it ever needed to be.
Yeah. Honestly, the only time that this is going to, if this ever sees that hard of a thing, it probably should break.
It might break your
The other thing is, if it does break, it'll be apparent that there's a failure.
It'll break here and here.
There'll be a crack in the weld. It'll be an apparent failure, and then you'll have to fix it, and that's just life. But I mean, I don't want it to be so. It's a unibody construction. It's supposed to have some flex, and this is honestly in some ways too strong.
Well, as I say, if it breaks, it'll break here and here.
Yeah.